I genuinely have not been this tricked, bamboozled, schemed, scammed from a rom-com this bad, like, ever. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, hey, we just came out of wrapping up a beautiful Lover's Day weekend. Friday the 13th was Black Love Day, Galentine's Day, Valentine's Day was Saturday, Sunday was, as some like to say, National Side Chick Day. Like, just weekend of love, okay? And to wrap all of that up, my husband and I were like, let's, mainly me, but I was like, let's watch a rom-com. We have been seeing so many advertisement and interviews for relationship goals, starring the beautiful Kelly Rowland, the just beyond handsome Method Man as the leading characters in this new romance comedy called Relationship Goals. We really of a background of it, even in a lot of the market and the interviews, we really just see Method Man and Kelly Rowland. Sometimes we would get a clip from Robin Thede, like she's one of the supporting cast, but we genuinely just got a sense of like, this is a new age romance comedy. It's going to be fun and loving and kind of what we expect from that particular genre. Now, this will be a spoiler alert video, so go ahead and watch it if you dare, and then come on back to this video. While I have you, if you are new here, make sure that you subscribe. I'm Hey Media Money, and this is the Media Sip, where we deep dive into all things TV, film, movies, and we take a sip, take a second, and really dive into the depths of it. So if you're into that, you found the right place. But relationship goals. I'm thinking that we're about to get a new age rom-com with two of the most attractive people in the entertainment business. I'm thinking sparks will fly. I mean, the chemistry is going to be out of this world because they are just such beautiful people, right? Like, I'm like, this is going to be everything. This is a terrible movie. No, this movie literally turned out to be a marketing campaign for Pastor Michael Todd, wrapped up in a scheme that was marketed and paraded as a romance comedy. Now, don't get me wrong. They did great with their casting because let me tell you something. I see Kelly Rowland, I'm in. I see Method Man, baby, I'm in ×2, okay? So they did an amazing job with kind of reeling us all in, getting us interested. Even the cover art, you see them two together. We see them on those press tours. Kelly is dressed to the nines. Method Man, he's suited and booted. He always just looks so good every time, he won. So, of course, this film. But ultimately, y'all, I wouldn't even say this missed the mark. This wasn't even in the room to hit the target, okay? Like, it was just not good, y'all. Searched and looked into the writing team. I saw that they actually hired Michael Elliott. He is a writer who has blessed us with amazing Black rom-coms such as Brown Sugar with Sanaa Lathan and Taye Diggs. And, just remember the writing and how we love those characters. And Michael Elliott also wrote on Just Right with Common and Queen Latifah. So you would think, like, again, just all the ingredients to make a really delicious, should be an enjoyable romantic comedy. And it dropped the ball because it was pushing too much of Pastor Michael Todd's Christian propaganda. There's one thing about that really upset me. There is a way to have a Christian-based love romance movie, a Christian-based romance comedy. There is a way to do this where it feels more enjoyable to the audience. It's authentic. You root for the characters and you're invested in the story. This movie completely abandoned that because all that it did was stroke Pastor Mike Todd's ego. This was really like a marketing social media campaign for him, really. Felt like a Temu version of Think Like a Man. because all they did was kind of take out certain pieces and insert others. They removed Steve Harvey in his book, Think Like a Man, and overly inserted Pastor Michael Todd in his book, Relationship Goals. But the difference in Think Like a Man and Relationship Goals is that we actually loved the characters and the way they were portrayed. There was a level of depth that we saw in the characters and Think Like a Man, even for it to be a romance comedy. We saw their families, we saw their friendships. Their dialogue just felt so much more natural and reflected how we actually speak to one another in our family and friend circles. This movie just did not give us any of that. Every single woman in the movie is male-centered. Kelly is main character of Leah, and as beautiful as she is, as well-dressed as she is, as successful as she is, her entire like, but I don't have a man though. When honestly, you got to read the room. We're not on that anymore. That trope worked back in the day, but women and audiences have evolved so far past that I wouldn't even say it fell flat. It just didn't show up altogether. There plays Kelly Rowland's character, Leah, and in this movie was that Robin Thede got to show a different side of her. We know her as being the comedic genius, the mind behind Black Lady Sketch Show. And to be honest, we need to be funding shows like that instead of Relationship Goals. The money that they use to create and fund and produce Relationship Goals should have went into the pocket of Robin Thede so we can get another season of a Black Lady Sketch Show. But as beautiful, intelligent, and successful as Robin Thede presents in this movie, she is reduced to a happy wag, which is like a wife or girlfriend to a star. But yeah, this beautiful, amazing, dynamic woman is reduced to an wag who wants to be married, but her man is so aloof that he doesn't realize she keeps fishing for a ring. Down to the point that within Relationship Goals, Robin Thede, where her part of the film comes into the house with a ring. Let me tell y'all something. If the world doesn't know, or if any man is unaware, if a woman is unmarried and she desires to be married, a small cube-shaped box in her vicinity. I don't care if it's your grandmama's ring or you just won the Super Bowl championship. Don't do it. Because if she is an unmarried woman who wants to be married and is in a relationship in a space where marriage should be a thing, that girl could see a Rubik's Cube and think that it is an engagement ring in it, okay? So, but even with that happens to her character's movie, and we've just seen it so many times. So of course she's all excited thinking, her guy's about to propose, and ultimately is like championship rings from one of his sports things. So of course she's disappointed. She's unhappy. But again, we never see a scene where we get the depth of that, where we see her talk about how, as a woman, she's always wanted to be married and why. Or we see her, deep diving into maybe her parents being married, or to emulate maybe what she saw her grandparents have. Like, you see those examples that I just gave? They give a character the gravy on the meat to make a good story, to make you feel invested in the characters. We never get any of this in this movie, Relationship Goals. We just see a bunch of people running around who they want to be married, and every 5 seconds they're referencing Pastor Michael Todd in his book. The point that Mike is even in the movie. He's in the movie. There's a whole scene of an interview with Mike Todd and his wife. And y'all, was the corniest mess I've ever heard. Verbatim, and I quote, these are actual lines from the script. You can't Facebook faithfulness, and you can't Instagram integrity. Yuck! Like, it was just, I hated it. He uses a, not shaped around just being and stroking the ego of Michael Todd enough. he really thought he ate, y'all. He had a moment where he uses a dating analogy of nuggets. And he's like, if everyone touches the chicken nuggets, would you want to eat one of the chicken nuggets? I'm like, I know this big grown man did not sit beside this big grown man who is a leader in his community, who is a religious leader with a strong following in a mega church, just reduce women to chicken nuggets. Y'all. Yuck! I hated it again. Beyond that, they and Jared, which is Kelly Rowland and Method Man's character, go to attend a mega church service. You know, they go to a church. Jared go attend this church service, and of course it's at a mega church. Of course it's, you know, pyrotechnics and lights and big jumbotron screens. Basically, the skit in real life, depicted in a movie. And guest of the mega church in the movie Relationship Goals. You guessed it. It's Pastor Michael Todd. Because again, everything is about highlighting him in this movie. So much so, they sacrifice the actual storyline or even giving us a great entertaining movie to make sure that we continuously say and mention the name Michael Todd. He and Jared are at this church service, and y'all, one of the weirdest, cringiest, funniest moments of the entire movie. They're nervous, and like Method Man is supposed to be like so moved by what's being said. Tang. Method Man and Red Man. Hi, y'all. He's in this movie, and he's like, whoo, yes, God. It's like, Method Man, who is in real life like a 5% or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, getting him in this like super churchy space. It was so unbelievable. And it didn't work. It did not give. I'm there at this church service. It's all about Pastor Michael Todd. And he's up there with, I think human link on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were mad about the Drewski skit for a reason, sir. Yeah. One thing my grandma used to always say, a hit dog gon' holler. And Relationship Goals just goes to show us why Pastor Mike Todd was hollering when Drewski made that church skit. Clock it. But yeah, we never receive any depth in the characters. The emphasis of each of their friendships is male-centered. Every time we see these three women together, again, very beautiful, successful, intelligent women sit in a room at a dinner table, even when they're on the phone, every single one of their dialogue, like conversation and all of their dialogue is about finding a man or keeping. It would have easily enhanced the story to see their actual sisterhood. How did these women meet? What do they have in common? What do they do for fun? Where after Leah and Jared leave the mega church, they leave the loss of her mother with Jared, which is a big moment in her life that like her has transitioned. Scene where she speaks about it to her dad, of course, because that was his wife, but best friends, and she never talks to her friends about her mom or even missing her mom or the fact that her mom is dead. She never has that conversation with her friends because every time she's with her friends, it's about, you need a man. We got to keep this man. How can we get her to get the ring from her man? Like, it surface and just lacks depth. And another thing I really did not like in Relationship Goals, the movie, is that is literally quite just used as a prop. We know nothing about him beyond his job. He says a few little snippy lines, and then we seen where he cosplays as the straight boyfriend to the spicy Latina character. How does he know the women? What do they like? You know what I'm saying? Like, we get no backstory, we get no depth there. As the prop and the comedic relief of the movie. It's just like he just did not even hit the target. Robin's in bed with the actual book relationship goals, because just like Think Like a Man, there are scenes where the characters are now reading from the actual book. Thedea sit there highlighting and quoting the book to her boyfriend, like set boundaries in their relationship. Primary scene where it's like, we could have saw these two characters have an in-depth conversation without centering it around this book. Even if she just referenced the book and said, I'm relationship goals and it says this. No, y'all, it's literally an advertisement. It's like this. I'm reading this book about relationships. And she's holding it up. So it's in frame. Child. So all in all, I gotta be honest with y'all. It's not a movie that I would recommend. Only moment that made this worth it, and I'm gonna have to whisper this part, y'all, because my husband might hear me. There is a scene where Leah and Jared, so we got Kelly Rowland and Method Man, they, have an actual intimate moment. They have an night together. Mind you, the build up to the intimate moment, which usually, in a rom-com, it's a slow burn. It's a will they, won't they. It's a enemies turned into friends, turned into lovers. We get none of that depth. They go from bickering, hating each other to, well, I really wanted this to work out. Yeah, me too. They're on a date. The next scene cuts to them waking up in bed together. So you don't even get to really indulge in it. But the sweetest moment of this entire movie, it's the night after they're intimate. And Leah wakes up and realizes she's in Jared's bed. So Leah's like, oh, I got to get out of here. So she's trying to sneak out. She's creeping behind, whoever. Played by the Method Man. He gets out of the bed and we get a full body frontal shot of Method Man standing there in nothing but black boxer briefs. Terrible movie. It is a waste of time. But that scene alone, I was like, okay, I'm not mad. I'm not mad anymore. It was good. It was good. But honestly, y'all, beyond that little moment of just well, that's nice to see. Missed the mark. Like I said, there is a way to do a Christian romance comedy and still provide a good, entertaining movie. It's not that people do not like those type of films. I'll give you a prime example of how I know that to be true. Hallmark and the Hallmark Movie Network have been thriving for decades. Everyone still watches soap operas, and as my grandma called them, the stories. It's not so much about the corniness or even the message that's being presented. It's how it's being presented. It's how it's drawing us into the characters. It's how we're getting to know the characters and how the characters are represented. People have watched every year. We watch the same movie on Hallmark, where the big TV exec goes home to her small town and falls in love with the man that owns the farm. And we watch it and we love it. And at the end, when they get together and they're kissing and the horse is running in the background, we love that. We love it and we watch it and we root for those characters because the script allows us to get to know them and to actually care. This movie does not provide that. All this movie wants you to care about is that Pastor Mike Todd is pushing to ultimately sell copies of his book. And that's why this is a terrible movie. For this to be such a heavily religious film, the whole thing is about the use of so much secular music in this movie. Doechii, Saweetie, Salt and Pepper, Lizzo, dance sequence to goodies. It's not enough. Pastor Mike Todd, the very end scene of the movie, Robin Thede, who really, really wanted to get married to the man who was just eventually. The end of the movie is her finally marrying the man because he finally came to his senses and proposed. And would you guess who's the pastor of the ceremony? Just take a guess. Please, please. Guess who married Brenda, because that was her name, Robin Thicke's character, Brenda, and her fiance at the end of the movie? You guessed it. Pastor Mike Todd once again. Listen, y'all. I don't know if there was just, this was just a way for him to get more clout for his church. I'm not really sure. This movie was also executive produced by I think it's Devon Devin Franklin. I'm not really sure how you say it, but he's also like a super religious person. And listen, this isn't even about, coming for someone's religious beliefs or how they practice their relationship or with their spirituality. It's more so this film is that in no way in any of the advertisements was this ever stated to be what it was. And that's why I have such an issue with it. Because here's the thing. I don't watch Tyler Perry movies because I know that I'm not that target audience. Those movies are not entertaining to me. Hey, but every time one comes out, I always tell my grandma. Because I know that they love them. That's their farm. That's their type of humor. That's their type of entertainment. But like it was marketed to millennials. It's been like, hey, this is, for the church crowd. This is for that. Because get a chance to enjoy this movie if you're not a Pastor Mike Todd fan. There is a scene where Method Man literally comes in and throws the book on the table, and he's doing this praises of Pastor Mike Todd, and he says, calls him a YouTube phenomenon. It was a drawn out advertisement for Mike Todd and his mega church. And then I'm gonna just wrap this up because I really don't like when they do this. Let's get into the makeup and the clothing, the costume design. Rowland is such a beautiful woman. It is, to make her be unattractive, right? Kelly could be in a potato sack and I'd be like, oh my gosh, she is serving in that sack. Do you see it? Gosh, she's fine. Like, she's that beautiful of a woman. The looks absolutely fit the character. They had her in a lot of suits, which makes sense. She works in a newsroom. She's in this leadership. All of it fit her character trope. The pantsuits, the matching two sets. We saw all her work rasterized because it was really Rowland's character. Her hair was pulled back because you really got to just see the beauty, the beam of her face. Loved every minute of it. Even the hair choice. It fit Kelly so well. She's such a beautiful woman. It was always like this like kind of wet and wavy textured hair on her. We know Kelly Life, our good sis, loves a bob. So it was nice to see her with a longer look. She looked beautiful. It's hard to make a beautiful woman like that not be beautiful. Here's the thing though. And very proudly, Kelly Rowland is a beautiful dark-skinned black woman. Of a darker complexion. She has always embraced it. She, to fellow darker skinned women like myself, like part of who Kelly Rowland is. For in this movie, I don't need her face, but the makeup was so heavy. And she was so, like, they overdid her cheeks and the blush so much that she almost looked pink in a lot of scenes. That usual just like natural glow that we see Kelly Rowland usually have, where it genuinely, we saw Kelly a whole lot of pink and a whole lot of pink here and a whole lot of pink on her nose, and it's just like, why does she look so rosy? Like the entire movie. Method Man, even though he is 54 years old, Method Man has always been most attractive, like sexiest in hip hop from the very beginning. And he's not one of those men who like beard or dyes his beard or with like the Beijing and veneers and all that. Like Method Man, a naturally handsome black man. And that's literally what we love about him. He's naturally fit, like he works out, big part of who he is. It's a big part of his brand. He actually has an entire fitness empire that's called Takao, because that's like what he used to say in his rap career. So it's like Takao, a big thing for the brand that is Method Man. The way he looks and how handsome he is a big part of it. Like, he's an attractor man. For whatever reason, Method Man's character in this movie, Relationship Goals, looks this that Method Man has ever looked. Every time we see Method Man, just in, when he's in life, he's on a red carpet, that man looks younger by the day. This movie got 10, 20 years older than what he is because on so much makeup on him. And his hair in a deep, dark, like jet color. Beard is like maybe his natural color, which is like brown with like copper undertones. So you just see like super, super dark here and then just like kind of red in the beard with caked on makeup like under the eyes. Method Man looked old as hell. And I just wasn't into that because how are you taking two just naturally beautiful people? Like, newsflash, y'all, you did not have to do much for Kelly Rowland and Method Man. All in all, like I said, this genuinely had the potential to be a great film. It had all of the ingredients to make this a great film. This is what would make Relationship Goals an actual enjoyable. Number one, we can that access advertisement of Michael Todd just out of the movie. Michael Todd does not need to be in the movie 3, 4, 5 times. He can be referenced. We can even see him maybe. Like in How Think Like a Man, Taraji was watching an interview of Steve Harvey talk about the book. That is kind of the most we need to see of Mike Todd. If you want to have Leah wake up and turn her TV on and she's watching a Sunday sermon, that's it. Cut it right there. Backstory. Give us a flashback of before they met, because they dated previously. That was a big part of the storyline and we saw nothing about it. We saw them mention it once or twice and that was it. Let's actually film some scenes of a background that shows that so we can get more invested in the characters. Let's make the women have more substance so that the things that they talk about don't just evolve. You got to get a man, keep a man, how to get your man to propose. I need a man. I'm going to die alone. I need a man. Met. Let's show them with pictures of each other in the house to show they're friends in real life. Like, art should reflect. Let's make it realistic. Actually pursue Leah. Like I said, they went from bickering back and forth to, oh, okay, well, this went well, so we're not bickering anymore, to boom, they had a night intimate together. It's like, make us yearn. Let's see the yearning. Let's see the desire. Let's see the want. And ultimately, would have to do more acting classes together. Maybe it was the script and just the movie itself. The chemistry did not translate on film. They had more chemistry in the interviews about the film than in the film itself. Drop down in the comments. Did you watch Relationship Goals? Did you enjoy it? What would you change? Did you know that this movie was about Pastor Mike Todd? I'm not his target audience. I never heard of the book. I barely ever heard of him. So please drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. While you're here, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, this is Hey Media Monty, and this is the Media Sip, and I'll catch you in the next one.